Director of NITI, Professor Tiwari, my good friend and brother representing the local North Mumbai constituency, Shri Gopal Shetty ji, all the distinguished faculty members present here today, and all the young boys and girls, students, friends, who I hope will graduate from NITI with honors and serve the country as future leaders of this country. My best wishes. Always a delight to be back home in Mumbai, my home city. And I'm probably coming towards this side after a very long period of time. I don't know whether I'll get to go and see Powai Lake, but I remember in the rains when I was a child, we used to come to have maybe a picnic at the falls at Powai Lake or experience the wonderful, joyous weather that this area always had. And NITI as a institution is something which is very dear to me personally, because my late father used to come here as a visiting faculty somewhere in the 60s or 70s. And we used to keep hearing about NITI, what it does, what are its potential advantages. And at that point of time, industrial engineering was a very new subject. It wasn't very popular, it wasn't something which was current coin or appreciated by everybody. Though today I think the whole world realizes how important the role of an organization which is training young minds to appreciate industrial engineering and then utilize your training to have a huge impact on different sectors of industry. I personally think that India is at a very nascent stage of industrial engineering training, research, study, and lots more needs to be done. The scope is unlimited, humongous. I remember as Railway Minister, I was looking around the whole country trying to find people for OR, for Operation Research Studies of how we'll plan our freight paths, the train timetable, and we were struggling. We had great difficulty to find experts who could do it, and finally IIT Mumbai came to our rescue, and some professors and some young students of IIT Mumbai actually crafted the whole model on which we prepared the timetable, which is now almost ready and should be released shortly. What I'm trying to express is that in the current age where global supply chains are adding huge value to international trade, where the world is literally getting closer and closer and working as one. So I don't think there'll be any product, the mobile phone that many of you must be using, would have parts coming from probably 30 or 40, 50 factories spread geographically all over the world, and being assembled, sub-assemblies in one country, assembled in another country, sold in a third country. So the amount of interdependencies in this current way of doing business in the current globalized world calls for significant value addition. And value addition would be actually on several fronts: packaging, research on what are the best ways to transport material, how goods can be stacked in warehouses or stored in warehouses very efficiently. There's so much and more that can be thought through when we look at global supply chains. Similarly, in industry, today it's not only setting up large factories or having machinery that matters. It's how efficiently your material movement is planned within the factory. How efficiently you are planning different processes right from receipt of raw material or other products, maybe even furnace oil or whatever are the inputs that go into manufacturing, right up to the stage of movement of material and then packaging, dispatch, and the design of the whole factory layout. All of this rests on your shoulders because you plan the way the engineering will best and most efficiently manage the processes within a plant. And the same would go for so many other things, right down to a small pizza shop for that matter. How efficiently a pizza shop or a pizza outlet is planned, how efficiently a restaurant is designed, right from the stage where he will store his material, the kitchen, the movement of hot foods in the current day of e-commerce and all these newer ways of delivery of foodstuffs. Also, a lot of industrial engineering goes into it so that you are delivered your foodstuffs within the promised time. I still remember that dialogue in Three Idiots. इस देश में आज पिज्जा तो 30 मिनट में आ जाता है लेकिन एम्बुलेंस नहीं पहुंचती है 30 मिनट. I don't know, you must have seen Three Idiots, man. I'm sure. But then that pizza 30 मिनट में इसलिए पहुंच जाता है क्योंकि उसके पीछे पूरा प्लानिंग हुआ है, उसके पीछे पूरा इंडस्ट्रियल इंजीनियरिंग करके process has been fine-tuned and established. We need to do the same in every walk of life, including delivery of public services. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, my young friends, you have a huge responsibility on your shoulders. There's huge potential in the work that you are doing. You can actually transform the way India is developing. You can transform the future of this country with the work that you are doing in NITI. I remember when we were engaged with the National Productivity Council, Governing Council meeting, it was then that I was informed that NITI came out of National Productivity Council. And I was actually questioning whether government needs to be involved in productivity, in industrial engineering during that meeting. But when I saw the good work that NPC is doing, that NITI is doing, I realized a little bit of hand-holding or back-end support of the government will help in public, private and academia working together as stakeholders and partners. I'm really delighted to be a part of today's program where we have inaugurated the Center of Excellence in Logistics and Supply Chain Management. I do hope you will all create a very robust, very vibrant curriculum which will serve our logistics sector, help it become more efficient, help it become more cost effective, help it create newer and newer ways of doing things. New jobs will be created, new opportunities for our young boys and girls to work in this sector. And as we drive down these costs and become more competitive, we'll be able to export more of our products, we'll be able to engage with world markets, expand our outreach, and thereby bring more economic activity to India, which is the need of the hour if we have to bring prosperity in the lives of 130 crore Indians. We have a responsibility cast on all of us collectively. We are working not only for a better future for our lives or our families. I believe that every one of you in this room also wishes to be a stakeholder and a contributor to a better tomorrow for all those millions of people who have been deprived of good quality life, of good quality, high quality education, who still remain on the margins, many of them in rural areas, many of them in the slums and deprived of the fruits of progress and prosperity. Collectively, we can transform their lives also. We can bring a beacon of hope in their lives. And that, if each one of us takes as a mission in our life, apart from your own work, your day-to-day work, your own families, I think there's a lot of goodness in every Indian. And I would urge each one of you, faculty and students, to always remember that we have to contribute, give back to society a little bit extra beyond what our normal work will entail in our lives. And that little bit, when each one of us gives back to society, I think we can all collectively change the destiny of India going forward. My best wishes to all of you. God bless all of you in your efforts, in your studies, in your careers, and I'll pray for your good health and safety. Thank you very much.
May I request our Honorable Director to felicitate our Chairman. May I request our Honorable Director to felicitate Mr. Gopal Shetty.